every beatboxer sounded so good. It was so sick. I'm not overdoing it. It sounded really amazing. I think it sounded better than GBB 2021, 100%.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Every time when I go as an artist to an event that you organize, it's like a vacation, you know?
That there is like this moment where you're chilling with all the beatboxers, you get to know each other, and then it's like, wait, I think tomorrow we have a battle. I think that's what we came here for.
If you understand this as an organizer, that it's all about us coming together beatboxing, and you keep this core always, then every event will be a success, I think.
Next up for president.
Yeah, beautiful.
You have my vote, bro. Beatbox Bros. Yo, what's up, my current feature Beatbox? Welcome back to another episode with the Beatbox Brothers. Today we have a special guest. It's Ivory Nexor Parker, the organizer of Emperor of the Mic, Vokal.Total, Shootout Battle, and the European Championship. Before we get to Ivory, Bjart, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for today. Ivory has been, I think, our friend for like a very long time, so we can finally talk about.
For me, since I got to know him in 2013, I think, first time Emperor of the Mic.
Yeah, I think same. Yeah. And I've been competing in his events for like 6-7 years.
10, bro. Like, Emperor of the Mic was 2013.
Yeah, okay,
so it's actually
I'm
10
old.
10 years
so I've been
now.
competing for a lot of time. I
That's
won
crazy.
one time the event, Shootout Battle. Man, I'm excited.
By the way, you have a new picture in the background.
Yes.
That's you.
It's me. It's
that's the other bar.
Also, my sister drew this one, both of them, and the other one is here. Yeah. Let me know which one I should hang.
If you want to buy these pictures, Bart gets 15%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is our first sponsor, my sister. Man. No, they're great. Yeah. This is supposed to be me. So like, If you think,
I think it looks quite similar. Like it. I can tell it's you.
She drew it from when I was wearing a cap with the red cap that I was always wearing.
Yeah.
So man. Yeah.
Looks fresh.
And for our real sponsors, we opened Patreon last week, and we got 2 Patreons, and I want to name them because the first 2 live. Yeah, LEVV and Glacial Born. Thank you so much for being the first.
Our first sponsors.
Our first sponsors. Yeah, man, let's go.
Dope. And guys, if you want to sponsor us directly, support us so we can finance this podcast, we can pay our editor, we can one day...
You're such a beggar.
No, I'm just being honest, bro. And one day maybe also Bjart can have a professional camera.
Yes.
Be our Patreon. Link is down
if you think I look like a Minecraft character, then please go to the link down below. Anyways, we're gonna get into our podcast with our guests. The one and only.
By the way, quick summary. What we're talking about? We are talking about the European Champs. Where I was competing. Ivory will give us tips how to set up a great event. So this is also could be interesting for people who want to throw events out there.
Let's go.
Maybe people at Swiss Beatbox. But we don't only want to refer to Swiss Beatbox. There's Beatbox International, there's Beatbox Community, throwing events, there's national championships. So I think everyone can benefit from this interview with Nexor. And Bjart, you wanted to make the transition?
Yes, and and we did one of the hardest wheel of spits of all time. But it's like one of the hardest challenge on the wheel of spit.
Yeah,
we're gonna get right into it. Ivory Parker. Nexor with us. Ivory Nexor Parker. Here we go.
Beatbox Bros. Yo, Nexor, how you doing, man? How's it going?
Yo, hi guys.
Nice to have
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
This is sick. I'm super excited and nervous.
Don't be nervous, man. It's we're not gonna bash you. Yeah, it's this podcast. I think it's gonna be really wholesome for people who don't know Nexor. He's involved in the scene. I think longer than me. Like I started to come to events in 2011, something like that. And when was your first first
I
event?
feel really old saying this. I think I started to beatbox about 20 years ago.
20 years
But-
ago.
Yeah.
So you're beatboxing longer than half scene is alive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when I started, I didn't go directly to the first beatbox event. We're beatboxing for almost a year with my friends from the Massive Beats Crow. What wasn't a crew yet, but we were friends. And then I went to the first beatbox event, and then I found out like, oh my god, like what are these sounds and what is like, what is this community? And then I really fell in love with beatboxing.
So I also remember you won the Austrian champs, right? You were you were the Austrian champion. Then you, I think your first big event you organized yourself was Emperor of the Mic. Like this was the first thing, my first thing when I saw you on the map of big organizers. Then it was a shootout battle. Now it's Vokal.Total and the European champs. I don't even know when you have free time still organizing so many events. But yeah, today's topic is the European champs, totally new organization. I was there as a competitor. So first of all, I think it was a really successful event. What is your feeling?
Thank you. Yeah. First of all, I'm very happy that it went down smooth. Also because for me and Thomas, who I'm organizing the European champs together, and like Thomas and me are now Beatbox Europe at the moment. We were really nervous because it's the first time we want to, do the best job as possible and be sure that, people will have a good time and also have a most professional setting that there is. So the aftermath, I think it went good. So far the feedback went. On Sunday, one day after the battle, after the final day of the battles, we did a Q&A session. That was very important for us. So we took our time. We sat there with all the participants, also with guests, and we had everybody share their thoughts and gave us feedback, what they wish, that we should improve on, what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good way to grow in a healthy way, to have a good communication with the community.
Damn, that's the first time I hear a beatbox organization would do this, like a Q&A afterwards with the artists. To be fair, I had to leave a bit earlier. My plane was on Saturday because I had to work on Monday. But that's why we have a Q&A now here on camera.
Yes. Yeah, the feedback list is coming now. He wrote an entire page of feedback.
I'm a bit afraid. Like, it's we try new things, and I know the three of us, we know each other for quite a while, and my events, and I like to try new things, and I also love that you guys also love to do new things, and so I'm very, very excited that we have the time, to sit down and chat about all those things and brainstorm, and maybe we have some great ideas today.
Yeah, so I remember like the first time where I felt like, okay, this guy is rethinking battles was like Emperor of the Mic when it happened in like a TV studio. What was it? It was like in Slovenian television or something?
Yeah.
Right?
We booked the TV studio. That was the
I've
first
been
time
there.
Beard was there. Yeah.
Yes.
Super nervous Beard. I can remember. I have the pictures in my mind so well. And I was like, dude, you're so good. Just do what you got to do. And you were so nervous. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was like the second big battle for Beard, no? Was it?
Yeah, this is 2013, right?
Yeah. That was after La Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. We went to a TV studio. I remember getting makeup on. Everyone got makeup on.
Yeah.
There was a panel of Bilo, and was it you?
No, Pepuni and Bilo.
Bilo and
Pepuni and
were-
Bilo.
Yeah, that's...
With headphones on, and there were a panel in between the battles.
Yes.
They talked about the battle, and it's like a TV show. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was so funny because like it was totally new to have something like this for the beatboxing for beatbox event, I also had the feeling like, okay, like no one is used to the situation. Like at the beginning, it felt a bit awkward almost, but that's how it is when you try new things, right? And for me, it felt like, oh my gosh, this is like we are like 10 years ahead right now with what we're doing at the Emperor of the Mic.
Yeah. The cool thing is the two guys who I worked with at the time, Oliver and Günther, they came from a complete different perspective to beatbox events. Mm-hmm. So Günther, he had a history with really high professional video productions and so on.
Yeah.
And it started with, we had the discussion that because Emperor of Mic took already place as part of Vokal.Total at that time, that we had many people who are not hardcore beatbox fans. So it's even more difficult for the people to understand the judge's decision. So I said we could try to maybe create an environment where one of the judges who voted for that decision, who won the battle, will then explain in 1 or 2 sentences why this person won. So it makes it more transparent for everybody.
Yeah.
And to tackle this break for the people who are watching the live stream and the videos, where the judges were discussing who will say what, because we had to coordinate that, we decided we want to have a pro panel who will do kind of the same in the meantime. So we had 2 studios at that time, and that one studio, we had Bilo and Pepuni, and 2 hosts there who talked with the audience. In the meantime, the judges were discussing who to take, who to pick, and why. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, we had the judges always explaining everything.
Yeah, that sounds like something that will happen in the future, but it's 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it never happened after that. Is there was there a decision that the next year to stop working with the TV program, or was it like not as much a success as you like?
The problem was it was a very expensive setup because we didn't have a YouTube channel or the backing from enough sponsors to finance that. So I think we made about 15K minus with that battle.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, we cannot do that anymore. Mm-hmm. So the year after we went back to Domenberg.
To the roots.
Yeah. And now it's still Domenberg and it's a lovely venue. But the idea with the TV studio, I think it's still something where if we as a community or a group of organizers will decide what we want to do, I think it's definitely a path where we will end up with, because we have to think about what do we want to do as a beatbox community. Do we want to be more niche and more hardcore and more for the really people who know what's happening? Or do we want to become more mainstream, but then we have to create events and shows that are more approachable for people who are not really hardcore beatbox fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so it was Emperor of the Mic, then it was Shootout, the Shootout battle. Me and Beard were competing there. Beard more successful than me. But by the way, look, wait.
Oh yes.
I still have the award of Beard's.
Yes, it's mine. It was too big to bring home by plane, because I think I flew that year, and
it was.
I couldn't bring it with me, so I gave it to Madox.
It was 2016. It was the same. It was the same year when we. You remember? We recorded. We were recording Blasted Sub in Munich. Beard. And then we went by car to Graz, and I went back by car, and you had to take the plane. Yeah, and then this award went to the plane.
Wow, I'll have to take it, because you're not living so far away from me. Maybe 4 hours by car, because you used to live in Munich. I'm gonna drive there to Hanover with my car and then pick up the award.
Yes, I still have it, bro. It was like in somewhere hidden in my flat, but. Since I have this new,
that's funny.
New little studio here.
Yeah, we've thought about rolling it up and sending it as a. But yeah, this is better. I'll be sure to take it. Yeah,
it's a good.
That's really
it's a
funny.
Good memory.
But yeah, so just to have like a timeline, it was Emperor of Mike for 2 or 3 years. How long?
Oh my God, I'm afraid if I will fail on this now.
Or just your guess?
I think
it was 3
4
years.
times.
4 times.
But after the TV studio one, we had it. Oh no, the TV studio one was the last time. So it was 3 times. And then in the same year, Beatbox Shootout already started. So the TV studio one was where Emperor of Mike kind of became its own event. And Vokal.Total happened at the same time. And so we did for the Vokal.Total, we created a new battle, which was Beatbox Shootout. And then we carried on with that. And I think that happened 4, 5 times, maybe 6 times. And and
then
now
1 or 2 years
Vokal.Total.
of Corona, and now Vokal.Total.
Yes, now
Yeah.
And now we have, because it's the 20-year anniversary, and Patrick Turner, who I do the Vokal.Total together, he came up with the idea, let's change the concept of the a cappella thing in general, because before we have one comedy competition, one pop, blah, blah, blah. But now we do it more in a technical way. We say depending on your setup, how you will perform on stage, that will determine in which category you will be performing. Same as in beatboxing, actually. And that's way more fun, I think, for the audience, because you will not be sitting there and listening to jazz all night. You will, experience so many different possibilities. And this year we will have also Loop Station, which I'm super excited for, because we will use a new modus, which I don't know if we had that for other battles, but it's more like a showcase battle with maybe King of the Hill, or I don't know how you call this modus, but it has definitely a name.
Like King of the Hill is kind of like a 7 to Smoke idea, where someone is on stage and there's the other one to come on stage, and then you have like the upper hill in some kind of way, or you'll start last or...
Yeah, it's true. It's not King of the Hill. I don't know the name for the modus, but all 5 will start on the stage. Everybody of them will perform, and then the judges will vote someone out. So there's no winner. There's always a loser.
Oh my God. That's so harsh. You're the worst guy of the 5. Go off stage.
Yeah, it's very tough.
That's great.
But you guys know me. I like tough battles.
But so it's
That's
like
nice.
So it's 5 people, and everyone has to all 5 perform. Then one gets voted out, and 4 performances.
Oh, so then it's 4 performance, then it's 3 performance, then it's 2 performance, and then we have the winner.
And it's always 1 round, or is it? More? Yeah. Okay.
It's 1 round, and it's unlimited time.
I think it's 3 minutes, or maybe 4.
3
but
minutes.
I think 3 or 4 minutes.
And it's a regular loop station thing, or is it with a laptop, with a guitar? Is it how
Whatever.
crazy is it?
Well, we will have some of the judges, because looking at what happened with GBB, and especially like with Loopy Pro, where you have so many possibilities to kind of triggers whole songs with just your voice. So we really have to look into that. And so we will have someone who really knows the technical side of the looping scene.
To keep it fair.
Yeah, but in the end, you still are allowed to use any device. Doesn't matter.
That must be hard for any judge. Like, you can't, there's no one who knows every single device and every single option.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. But the thing is, thinking of, as I said, at Vokal.Total, you have many people who are not into beatboxing that much. And I think of, when you look what people love when they are watching videos on the internet, many times people just want to experience the music production.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be a serious issue if somebody just says one word and the whole song goes off. That's a problem. But everything else, I think it's just, it's like a producer battle.
Yeah.
But with only beatboxers on the stage in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but I also think it also can, it definitely will improve your performance if you do things live with your voice. Like I remember MB14, like his audition for the UK's Got Talent. Like I think most of the things he was doing live, and you can feel the difference, right? That it just sounds way more organic. It's way more emotional. So I think even if you allow lots of effects, still people who can deliver like emotion through their voice still will will have an easier time to reach the audience, I think. Or if you have a good mix with it, you know, some stuff is electronic, but then you add your true voice to the song, it definitely will help. Because I mean, looking at like pop music, when you look at what's popular, like 90% of all the music has like a lead vocalist singing, right, or rapping, because that's what people touches the most, I guess. And I think there's no exception for looping. It's pretty much the same thing, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think people have now some context of what Ivory Nexor Parker. Should we stick to is it more comfortable for you to say Nexor, Ivory?
You can go with both. Like there was a time I tried to get rid of Nexor, but then I tried to add beatboxes for my battle.
Yeah.
And I sent them a message and they didn't know who Ivory Parker was, so I had to add Nexor again.
Yeah.
So they accepted my
I
friend
see.
request.
I see.
Yeah. So now it's Ivory Nexor Parker, but I'm cool with both. So what's
I'm always switching. Sometimes I say Ivory, sometimes I say Nexor. Yeah.
So I'm curious about the because I'm really intrigued with the 5 people on stage, and then one is the loser, and is it the idea that they just all the judges, they have like a point system, or they have like 7.5 from this one, so this from this, and then they got counted and they're mashed together. They're like what is it? Subtract. What is it? You have like 3 numbers, and then it's the next judge and the next judge and the next judge, and then you see who has the lowest points, and that one goes off. Or is it just someone with a mic and is like, judge, who's the worst one? And then you're like, well, we thought Ibarra is the worst one, and then okay, I'll go home, and then or how does it? What's the idea? How is it presented?
So now the plan is everybody makes their top 5, top 4, top 3, so on. Yeah. And that determines the points. If there is a draw, then the judges will have a discussion with each other who they think did better in the direct matchup. And that will determine who will drop out of the competition.
So there's no overtime.
Yes. At Vokal.Total, we also had it before that the host had an in-ear and he got the information, and then he announced it. So we
so they perform, they go off stage, something else happens, there's it gets calculated, and then the next time they go on stage, it's 4 people. Or is it something that goes like in one go? They go on stage, they perform, one goes away, and they stay on stage, and they keep performing. Yeah. Okay, so the host is gonna keep talking as the points are being calculated. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So it's it's a continuous thing. Cool.
Yeah. And then there will be a break, and so it's not too long for the audience. And I think it's the first time, so it's a very new concept. I hope it will go well. I like trying out things. Yeah. Of course, you can fail, but I think we can learn a lot from that. And let's see. Hopefully, it will turn out good. I think it will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you can be open for trying out new things as long as you keep people in the conversation, like not just doing it by yourself, but as you just mentioned, at European Champs, you had a feedback discussion, like a Q&A with the artists, so everyone can like give your feedback, so you can get a feeling of like, okay, did the concept work out? Is there anything to improve? And then next year, you try something new. Yeah,
absolutely.
That sounds amazing. So Beyond, any more questions to the new looping battle?
Yeah, I just got so excited. I really want to watch it, especially.
I think you have a new fan for this
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Category.
It's very interesting, and also because I think what is really weird that the beatboxing loop scene and the other loop scene is kind of split. You know what I mean? You have actually there's so many more loop station artists out there, but like we tried for this festival, we tried to of course. Having beatboxers as loopers is always very, very dope. But I think there are so many possibilities. And I feel like the communities there are two different type of communities. I feel like those people who have the singers who are looping their stuff and then the hardcore beatbox fans who are looping. Yeah. And to kind of unify that, I think that would be a really cool thing.
Yeah. To invite artists that are not just beatboxing or just have I don't know, just or they have a kick and percussion elements that they just doom, and they do shit, and that'd be dope too. Yeah.
I remember there was a loop station battle some years ago that was held by Boss. They had multi-instrumentalists, they had beatboxers, so it was really mixed. So the only thing I even think that there was no limit on what to use for looping. So you could just loop with whatever you want to. And there was one beatboxer from the UK who won once. I remember something with S. I don't remember his name. It's some years ago. But there was something like this already existing. But sadly they were never repeating it, like the loop battles from Boss. Anyways, but I see this I also don't know a lot of loopers outside the beatbox scene, but I see I know one artist that his name is Young R. He's doing EDM pop. He's looping on stage, but with drums, with drum. He has a around him is his stage is full of instruments, and he plays all the instruments himself, loops everything, and performs there's really amazing artist. I even saw Flume sometimes uses loops on stage.
Cool.
With Ableton, some things he would play live. Sometimes he would use samples, but looping is inside of pop culture too. But it's kind of disconnected from the loopers on the beatbox scene, and I mean it's you could compare it also to beatboxing with solo beatboxing and a cappella. I would say this is also kind of disconnected. I was playing in an a cappella group for 3 years, and I didn't see beatboxers in other groups besides once that was funny. I went to a competition with the a cappella group in North Germany, and there was also Austrian a cappella group, and Aeon was beatboxing with them. And we didn't know that both of us are competing there. That was a funny coincidence. But that's also for some reason there's not really a connection. Although beatboxing is getting more musical, we have more people interested in singing, incorporating singing in their beatboxing. I do this as well, and I actually got really inspired by a cappella. Actually, when I was practicing with my a cappella group, I learned a lot how to control my voice, how to create a longer show that is longer than a battle round of 1 minute 30. So I think beatboxers can really learn from the a cappella group, because they most groups have made way more stage experience when it comes down to playing shows, stuff like that. And what the a cappella group or what the a cappella scene I think can learn from beatboxers is incorporating different sounds rather than just using pure voice, right? I don't see this a lot in the a cappella scene.
Or the pure how realistic can you get percussion? you know?
Yeah, like percussions or like like playing instruments. Like I saw once like a cappella singer who tried to imitate a trumpet, but I was like, you could like there's way better ways to do a trumpet if you look at beatboxers like Tom Thumb or MB14. Yeah, so I think both scenes could learn from each other.
But that's why Vokal.Total is like pretty cool, because it combines both elements, right? Or like both battles. It's like it's a cappella battle as well, right?
It's a
there's
competition,
a winner. Yeah.
And I actually I recorded once a song with a cappella singer that was winning the a cappella competition at Vokal.Total. Like the band name is Anders.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the singers. I was
cool.
Yeah, like he texted me and was like, "Yo, I saw you beatboxing on at Vokal.Total. Let's do something together." And we actually recorded a song. And yeah, I would love to see this more, like people collaborating together.
It's also interesting to see like how I think slowly, the fusion is happening more and more when you look at Berrywam, because they already have, I think, the best of both. Crew where everybody can sing, hold a note and be in key, but still very, very great beatboxing. Or MB14, who is also going in so many directions, with also him being a great actor and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of time where we maybe, find a place where everything will be connected. But there's so much potential. That's the crazy thing, we could go everywhere. Looking at Vokoda doing like dubstep events with his beatboxing, and it's
Yeah, that's true.
Let's wait for the first heavy metal beatboxer, who is in a heavy metal band instead of a drummer.
Did you see Osa's new Beatline round? Probably not.
I just have seen your story. I have to check it out. I saw like everybody freaking like, oh my god. Yeah.
I was like, like before I would say, it's not possible to create this vibe, like this heavy metal vibe. But after this, I was like, oh, this was like,
oh, nice.
It sounded really authentic, like heavy metal. Like I totally could see like a shouter or like a rock singer over this. Yeah, that sounds really sick. Yeah. Anyways, so let's get back to European Champs. So this year, this year was the first time this event happened. Last year we had like pre-qualification battles. I think it was in total like 64 beatboxers who were qualified for the pre-qualification, and then out of the pre-qualification there was 16 people being invited to the live event. I was also there. Yes, so maybe you can roughly like explain like how you came to this idea to have like this pre-qualification, and then like who was qualified and how people qualified for that.
So we had a couple of challenges that we had to figure out, which was to begin with, in which time period do we accept the national champions. So we decided for a certain time period. Then we also decided all the champions from this time period, all the vice champions, and all the female champions, if the championship had, 2 different categories. And then, of course, I wanted to have the event to be accessible, where even if you were not a champion, you could kind of make it there by a wild card. So at the end, we had a crazy number. And then we had, from this wildcard competition, we took some beatboxers plus all the champions, and then we had 64 beatboxers. And the reason why I came up with the group stage was, at this point, I already was thinking of the live event, but the inspiration for that, obviously, of football events, because I like football a lot. But also, I remember when the World Champs happened, and Dilo didn't qualify through the elims. And at this time, already the beatboxing knew how good Dilo is. And just because of one bad round, you don't make it in. And I saw like, how bad this was. And also like, he was very sad. I was very sad for him. And I thought like, I don't want to put a person into this, this
Situation.
feeling just by making one mistake, you're completely out. At one point, you will go there definitely, but at this early stage, it's very sad. You work so hard, and then you only can show 90 seconds of 1 year of preparation. So therefore, I was thinking, yeah.
And then also World Champs was like, how many competitors did they have for elimination? Like 94.
Yeah,
so
crazy number.
Also for the judges, it was really hard to get a top 16 out of 94 people. It's incredible.
Yeah. And therefore I thought, okay, I want to have a system where you will have not only one chance, but multiple chances to show that you are good. And of course, with the group, you also really can tell then you are the best in your group, because over the multiple battles, it will show, how many points who have had and so on. So we did, out of the 64 beatboxers, we made 16 groups of 4 beatboxers. You had to face everybody in your group once. Every vote you got from a judge was added to the previous battles, and the total score of all your battles determined your ranking in the group. And then we had 32 beatboxers after this group phase, but we only could invite 16. So we made a face-off, which means every first ranked faced a second ranked from another group in a one battle. And yeah, that determined the top 16. And the reason why we did video on demand is I was inspired by the Korean beatbox event, Beatbox.Total.
Yeah, they had like pre-recorded videos.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it a lot, because the thing is, with live stream battles, it's so difficult if you have a bad internet connection, or you just don't have a nice setup for the live stream. You really have a disadvantage. But if you get the time to really work on the product that you have, and once again, you will be able to show as an artist what you want to show. Like if you don't care and you send a crappy video, then it's up to you. But if you really want to put effort into it, you can showcase your creativity. And I think that's the future for us beatboxers, to think of us more than just battle rounds, but who we are as an artist, and how can we show the world that in the best way.
Yeah, and to be honest, I also enjoyed it like this way rather than doing it all live, because also like all the battles didn't happen in one day, but you had like, I think 4 days or something.
It was a week, every day, 4 or 5 hours of battles.
Yeah. So for me it was...
Wait, this was online?
That was online.
Was online, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me it would have been impossible to be accessible for every battle, but because I had like pre-recorded rounds, I could just tell the organization, okay, for this guy I'm gonna choose round 1 and 7. For this guy I'm gonna choose these rounds. And also like obviously like for me it was also like a great opportunity to like, because you can record your video multiple times. For some videos it took me like 10 to 15 takes. But then I felt like more comfortable because it's a better representation than when you're nervous. Then some like it's on the video. It's like a unusual situation. At least for me, because I never do like Discord battles. So yeah, for me it was a really really cool opportunity to do this like that. Yeah.
Also, I think. We really need to get creative in terms of wildcard competitions, because now there are like so many entries, and to determine by one video, who out of this 300 videos will be allowed to join the competition, it's tricky. And so I personally, I don't have, like, I would have a solution if I would have like, shitloads of cash, but everybody would have that.
Yeah.
So...
No, but I think that was a good solution. Yeah. It was hard. It was tough because it was in total like 10 videos, if you include like wildcard, seeding
Ooh.
round and the battle rounds. But at the end of the day, like for me, it was like, okay, now for me, it was pretty much like, now I prepared all my rounds already for German champs. Because a few months later, I was German champs. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to listen back to my European champs rounds. And I'm just going to use these. Yeah, because
and
I already
also
have a
for
clean.
Bart to understand, like, the cool thing with the video on demand was the beatboxers didn't have to be there in person as well. They had the opportunity to tell us, like in a card game, which videos they want to have been played in which rounds. So also that makes with that system, you easily could have a beatbox event over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Because the problem is being there is, and that organizing that with, nearly 100 people is very, very difficult.
Oh my God.
It's funny. I think I competed in the Beatbox to World version of this. And I just remembered what happened. I had so I was the person that couldn't be there. I had a TV show, so I had to, like, in between the TV show, I had to quickly shoot messages. But it was like very hectic on the TV show set. And I remember chatting with one Korean organizer guy, and I won the coin flip. And I told the Korean guy, like, so he goes first. And they put my battle first, so he misunderstood or something. So the complete battle was flipped, and I think I like, it was close enough that I would lose because of this, like, small translation error.
Yeah.
And so I was at the TV show. I was like, no, him first, and it was like a live stream, and they didn't put him first. They did put mine first. It's so funny, but yeah, I was so hectic. I was in a TV studio. Anyways, but yeah, I think this works perfectly if you do it beforehand, or at least
For the hosts and stuff, it's way easier, right? You have a script and you just go by the script.
Yeah.
There's no technical issues. The viewers don't have to wait for something. That's dope. So from this stage, so you had 16 people. And then you invited all the 16 to Graz. Every competitor got like a how do I say, like a support for travel costs, accommodation, everything was covered. There was prize money. I remember, like, it was 1,000 for the winner, right?
Yeah, it's 1,000 for the winner and 300 for the second place.
Yeah.
And like 800 euro mic for the first place. And
that's also 800 euro mic. What was it?
DBA.
No. The Lewitt.
It's a studio mic. Oh, that's cool.
No, it's like this one. I just have the box.
It's a stage. Is this a stage mic?
Yeah, it was the mic we used for the battles.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. That was 800 euros microphone.
Yeah, wow. It's a condensator microphone. It's like, it's roughly said it has similarities with the
DPA.
And
that's crazy. Like I didn't pay attention on stage what mic I'm using right now. I was just like, okay, a flat top, I'm fine. Yeah, that's
nice.
It's cool. Also, for the post production, having a condensator mic really helps a lot. Like Madox, it. Like
it sounds way more brilliant. Like it sounds fuller. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and to be honest, like, so in the first location, because it was a bit smaller, I didn't feel like a big difference. But on the big sound system on the second day, every beatboxer sounded so good. It was so sick. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I would wish that on every beatbox event it would sound like this. Like, I'm not overdoing it. It sounded really amazing. Like, I think it sounded better than GBB 2021, 100%.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also the venue, like the choice of the venue, of course, was pretty well made. Like because the sound problems in GBB 2021, I would say, would also come with the location choice, because the location was an expo hall, not a concert hall. So the sound kind of got lost. and at the European Champs. And also for me, like on stage, like on the second day, I felt so comfortable because the sound was so good. Yeah.
That makes me very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
This is
It's
the
like, you
most
know,
important
for me, it's
thing.
always like when I'm coming to an event and I'm looking behind the sound desk and I don't see Sinjo, I'm already getting nervous. Like,
Yeah.
will it sound good?
Yeah.
Because I don't have like no front. I just don't know so many sound engineers in the scene. I feel really comfortable to work with Sinjo, and yeah, for me it's like always like probably you also know yourself when you go to an event and you don't know the sound engineer, it's kind of like a gamble. Either it's going to sound amazing and he knows how to translate what you do into the microphone to make it sound good on a sound system, or you're gonna sound like the worst beatboxer ever.
Yeah, like when you tour, do you have a sound guy with you?
I actually with your band, do you have a
Yeah.
Like as many times as possible. So when we do like the UK tour thing, not as many times, but we also have like 2 sound engineers who live in the UK, and in Austria we have a couple of sound engineers, because I think when I could restart my future, if I would, go back in the past, this would be one of the first things to start really investing in, is to have a sound engineer, because it's the thing is, as I said, like he is the person deciding if you will sound good or bad, and this leads to follow-up gigs or not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a sound, like the architect. You can have the best material to build a house, but if you're a shitty architect, the house will still look disgusting.
shit house.
Yeah. Looks like a toilet. Oh no, that's the bathroom. That's no,
Yeah.
whatever.
And also about the venue we picked, it's of course the guys from the venue that's called PPC. They are good friends of my band and of me. And also I knew, because this is like a proper live venue, so they had there like a couple of times Dub FX, Beardy Man, and so on. And so they are experienced with beatbox, and also I played there with my band a couple of times, so it's not a new thing for them.
Yeah.
And that helped them a lot. And the engineers, they were super competent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was sick. Like usually I'm so used that there's at least one problem on stage. Like either it's like feedback or the sound just doesn't sound good, and then suddenly it magically gets better for the finals.
It changes. Yeah, that's one of the worst ones. Yeah. Or you use 2 different mics and they both sound different.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that happens. Yeah.
So
We went through all of that. Yeah. I did these mistakes as well. Like I had also Vokal.Total with 2 different mics. And then the guys starting grabbing each other's mic, like, no, his mic is better, his mic. And it's
so this,
there is no perfect solution there. Like it's like with one microphone, it's a little bit more disgusting, but it's more fair,
Yeah, exactly.
But I've seen horrible looking microphones after one round. You get the microphone, you're like, oh my god, I can see the breakfast from 2 days ago. And. So it's always like it's giving and taking,
Yeah. Like we're really close in the scene.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're brothers now. Yeah. Very intimate.
It's good that the pandemic is over.
Yeah.
You can share mics again. Yeah, but like for me, with a good event, like it's like at first the artist, and second the sound system, right? Like these are for me, especially in beatboxing, are the 2 most important factors to determine if I'm gonna like the event or not, right? And then if it's like, if the sound isn't good, I don't care how full the room was, like how many people would watch, how big the light show is, how fancy the LED screen is. Like I don't like Like when I look at GBB 2021, like it looked amazing, like the screens, and they have a camera crane and full room, and some performances looked really crazy, but the sound was not as expected. And like maybe for some people who are not so often in beatbox battles, for them it sounded nice, but for me who witnessed GBB 2019, which for me till this day was one of the best sounds I ever heard. It was kind of like a downer to see, like I don't feel the bass.
The bass is a thing with like such a big venue. Like the bass just doesn't. It just flies away. It's like there's one spot in the audience that you can feel a little bit of bass, and the rest is all it's gone.
Like for me it was like, for example, at European Champs I had the feeling like the sound is here. I'm like in front of the beatboxer, like he is beatboxing into my face. But GBB was like so distant. The sound was so far away, kind of. It looked like I'm not in the crowd, but I'm like, I'm listening to a festival that is like 100 meters away.
I'm very curious about the upcoming GBB, because as far as I know, like Sincho has like put a all-star sound engineer team together. So I think it will be very cool.
Yeah.
And also the venue, it's not an expo hall this time as well, so it's like a proper club venue or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think, because we all know what amazing job Sinju does, and having him select like a whole team for that, like I'm very, very excited what this man is preparing for us.
Anyway, so that's about the sound. And I said it to you once in private. I'm gonna also say it on the podcast now. Like every time, when I go as an artist to an event that you organize, it's like a vacation, you know, because it's like the first day is like jamming, and then meet all the friends, and then there's always like a sick venue prepared. You have free drinks as an artist. You can dance together. The whole day is like some dope restaurants, and then Graz itself feels like a vacation city.
Exactly what you're saying. It's like what happened multiple times during this event, because I've been joining for 6 years, maybe longer. I don't know. That there is like this moment where you're chilling with all the beatboxers, you get to know each other, and then it's like, wait, I think tomorrow we have a battle. I think that's what we came here for. I completely lost track of time the last 3 days that we were chilling here. And then...
and there's like no pressure. Like at GBB 2021, also maybe because it's such a huge event, like such a big size, that I felt like everyone was so pressured every day. So it was like amazing for the audience, but I think for the artists it was a lot of pressure. But I didn't feel like every time I go to an event of yours, it doesn't feel like so much pressure. Of course, people are nervous. I was also nervous to perform, but that's normal. But besides that,
partied
like
the nervous out of you guys before the event.
Yeah.
So I partied the nervous out of you guys. So.
Yeah. But to be honest, I never feel this. Like sometimes like if we have a private moment to talk, you would tell me like, that was a hard day. But whenever you're talking to people, giving advice or you're leading people, it always feels like you have everything under control. It looks like chill, you know. Like it looks like you're doing it for at least 2 decades.
But he is almost.
Exactly.
It's like it's over 10 years you've been organizing. And this is the first time you're using the ABBA system.
For the Euro Champs. Like I think I'm using it for Shootout. I don't know.
There was no transition. So for the audience, there's a battle system. The usual battle system is the ABAB system. So beatboxer A starts, then B, then A answers, and then B answers. And special about European Champs was that the beatboxer A starts, then beatboxer B, then there's a judge vote, and then beatboxer B has to start in the first round and the second round, and then beatboxer A answers. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we call ABBA.
Exactly.
And the idea behind it is that you don't have as much as an advantage when you're starting second time, because you can answer 2 times when you're second, and with ABBA you can both answer 1 time. So that's the idea. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to ask how was it for you? Did you enjoy it better than the ABAB system, or was it?
I personally, I like the system still a lot. Also at the panel discussion and after the event, we also talked about the ABBA. And there's one thing it sounds a little bit rough or something like that, but this is one thing I want to make clear, that when we're doing a beatbox competition, it shouldn't be about convenience, it should be tough. Because beatboxing is getting so good and so complex that it will be more and more difficult to determine who is doing better. Mm-hmm. So the tougher we make the battle, the more and easier it gets for the judges that they can decide who won. And I think also with the ABBA, I saw some statistics about penalty shootouts in sport events where this has an effect on the opponent team. So that's how I came to this idea. But when I did it the first time, then after the event, I saw the event from Madox, who you did it as well at your event as well in Munich, or am I mistaken?
Yes, at Vocal Masters 2018, we tried it, the system.
Yeah. And the thing is with ABBA, also with judges voting on each round individual, one question of one of the participants was, can I double counter a round? Which means you're a beatboxer A, and then beatboxer B does a beat, then the judges vote, beatboxer B does again a beat, and then you as beatboxer A, can you counter the first B round and then the second B round?
I think so.
But Big Ben also said for him, when he has voted on the first round AB, then this happened, and then everything regarding to that he voted on, and it's erased. And then he's voting slowly on the second round.
Yeah.
So I think these are small things we need to also figure out how to handle this. And also Thomas and me, we had a short chat about the voting system, how we have it now, that we call it every vote counts, which means every judge has 1 vote. And because of, with multiple points, the voting can get a little bit
so for context, at European Champs, you had like 3 judges, and each beatboxer could make a total of 6 points. Yeah, exactly.
But wasn't it the same with
vote.
European Masters?
Vocal Masters?
What was it called? Vocal Masters.
Vocal Masters, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was the same. But the special thing about European Champs was that in the group phase, to get the winner of the group phase, it was not only important how many battles you won, but also how many points you would make. So even if you lose 3-2, even if you lose 4-2, you still take these 2 points, and it could benefit you. Yeah.
And this is one thing that we're thinking about, is because if you lose around 3-0, because the judges are not allowed to vote a draw, we are thinking of maybe giving the judges the possibility to give 3 points away, which will have the effect that if the battle was close, you can vote as a single person 2 points for this one and 1 point for that one, because the 3-0 many times doesn't really represent how close the battle was actually. And like this also, again, then the audience will understand much more, because if you're like 3-0, like he wasn't that bad, you know, for me it was a 2-1, but you cannot see like that because every judge just had one vote. So, but the thing is, to implement that, we, in a smooth way, we either need to program an app where what judges can use, and things that go quick and smooth and are transparent for everybody to understand what just happened, instead of saying something into a mic and then the host just is lifting arms.
That is exactly what I was thinking for the 5 people. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to the 5 people thing, but that the judges have an app. They don't discuss, but you see their scores like live projected on like a beamer, and
or like
so
on the table, like.
And then it's just like it's like everyone can see the score of one judge, another judge, and then so like you don't see the third one, and then the fourth one, fifth one, and then the third one, and then it's like that's the score. It like gets combined by the app, and it's just like you see the what is it the English
the
word
score.
for
Scoreboard?
You have
mass.
a 10 and an 8, and then it becomes a 9. You know what I mean? So like you have it makes the half of
The average?
the average. So they take the average score, and it's like it gets calculated, and then for the next person, the next person, and then you see who ranks the lowest, and then his name explodes, and then he gets out of the stage.
By the way, if you're interested to see a battle where we tried this already, like with multiple points, with Beatbox Throwdown, it was organized by Beatbox International. It was a online battle, and we had Trung Bao, Collapse, and me judging it, and we were actually using the my judging system, the ACE system. So normally it's PACE system, but for online we decided to not judge the performance. So we made it the ACE system, but each judge could give 1, 2, or 3 points per competitor. So for me, the difficulty in this was that we didn't discuss, we didn't get too much into when should I give 1, when should I give 2, when should I give 3 points. So we pretty much ended up always giving either 2 or 3 points. But I think if you do a system like this, then the judges have to be educated a bit better in how to use the system. Maybe do like some testings with, I don't know, watching some battles, and then you just try out with the app how you would vote and discuss, okay, why you only giving 1 point right now. So it's clearer for the judges. But I think otherwise it's a pretty cool idea. Yeah. Like
I really would like to implement an app in general, because, or like not an app, like all those features as Bart has said. I think this would be such a cool, exciting way, which would attract many people who are, just like the vocal art. And so implementing these things would be so awesome, but it costs like tons of cash. And you need people who have the skills to kind of handle those animations. And these are the things which with the possibilities that I have at the moment, it's still a challenge, because I have a very limited power and financial resources to make these things happen. But that would be definitely a dream, to make those things more exciting. But here's the question, like if we go like too much into the show thing, then you will definitely have people like, it's like the voice of beatbox, and it's not the real beatbox battle anymore, and so on. So you will have the purists for sure, and people who will love that thing. And we just need to decide, what do we want to do? Yeah, but to be honest, thinking about this, if you communicate it from the beginning on, how it would look like,
what people can expect from it. Surely there will people be like who disagree with it, but for some people it will be more attractive to come to an event. Like for me, for example, I prefer right now to focus more on how to perform on stage right now, like a good performance rather than crazy battle moves. At the European Champs was like, I felt like, shit, maybe this is not the right format to focus on more on performance. Like the first 2 battles I lost like that because I got the feedback like, yeah, you did a bit too much singing, blah, blah, blah. But whenever I see, okay, this event is focusing more on like a good performance, how on the artistry and on the showmanship, I feel more welcomed. And yeah, and then for more technical beatboxer, like there's, I think, lots of resources, lots of events where he can go, but I don't see so many beatbox events that are more focused on the show. So I think, as you said, it can be risky because some people would disagree because they want to have the raw beatbox battle. But I think for some beatboxers, it could be a nice opportunity.
Yeah, I think the Beatbox Circle Jam Festival would have been really cool for that, to bring artists that they have to perform 30 minutes or 45 minutes on a stage. I think when you go through this experience, you grow as an artist drastically. And also this would help the scene to really show like, hey, you can book a beatboxer not just as a gimmick on your festival, but as a real music act. And so I'm looking forward for the festival to happen. The guy said they're working on a new date, and I'm really rooting for them because I love the format.
Yeah, same.
Marvelin, the organizer of Beatbox Germany, he started to experiment with this as well. Like we had an event in Mainz, which is like in the middle of Germany, and he booked me and Friedon as a show act, and both of us would perform 45 minutes. He was looping, I was doing a solo show, and then we had like a show, like more like a show battle, but it was like so 4 beatboxers. They did a seeding round, then a semi-final, and then a final. And for the audience, it was really sick to see. Like they saw in such a small time frame, they saw lots of variations of what beatboxing is capable of. They saw like a battle, like really raw beatboxing, but then also the battle competitors. Like there was one really technical beatboxer, there was one that is really musical, student of Dilo. Then we had Friedon, who did a pure loop station show, and then me, who did a pure solo beatboxing show, but stretched to 45 minutes. And yeah, so for me it was a really sick event because it was a nice opportunity to showcase like all the different aspects of beatboxing, and also for me as an artist, you know, to finally be able to play a show like this in front of like a mixed audience with like both beatbox fans but also like a normal audience, because usually like a show like this with so much time, I would mostly play either on a corporate event or on a festival that is disconnected from the beatbox scene, and then it's a totally different thing if you perform for an audience like this, than if it's like kind of still part of the beatbox scene, right? And also like also for me, like I received some feedback from beatboxers, from non-beatboxers, and it was a really, really dope moment for me. And also like what really helping me, or what amazed me, was like there was also beatboxers giving me like good feedback, kind of like, man, I like you are the routines you usually use in your battles. Now that I saw it like inside of a show, now I understand like the message of it. It was easier for me to connect with it. Because when you do a battle round and you waste 20 seconds to singing, for me it's more, he's just trying to stretch the time, but in the show, and also like the sound engineer would also like he would EQ my singing parts a bit differently than my beatboxing parts, and yeah, there was so many possibilities to try new things. And I think this if we would have bigger events like this inside of the beatbox scene, the whole beatbox scene could benefit from this. Yeah. Wow. So we kind of we're drifting away a little bit from the European champs. Anyways, maybe as a last question, like where do you see like the future of European champs? Like, are you planning to repeat this event? Is it going to stay like in the same frame of like the online qualifications and then go into the top 16? What is your plan right now?
Yeah, how Beatbox Zero was founded. So just to create in context, what's the whole idea of and why what is happening?
Yeah.
So like it started at some point, I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that. Pepuni, he came and said like, hey, it would be cool to have a European Championship, which has nothing to do with SPX. Like you guys get full support and everything, but we would think that would be really cool if, you know. And so he actually put a team together, which was Hobbit, Rupert, Basics, also from Beatbox Collective, Thomas and me. So the four of us, we started, and Pepuni put us together and said, hey, you know, work on something nice, and if you need any help, whatever. So the four of us, we talked about what would be cool, what would be great, and we decided on to create not a company, but more a community or not
organization,
club, a community, where the big goal would be like, I don't want to be CEO of anything. You know, I just want to build this up, and if at some point comes someone who is, you know, much better in management and so on, I know there are so many people who are better in doing that than me, then I happily, you know, hand it over, because the most important thing is that Beatbox Europe really should be from the community for the community. So in a very long term, we have the idea that maybe one day there maybe will be a board where every beatboxer who is signed up for a championship can vote for the the people representing his country, and all the representatives, you know, will then kind of decide what will happen and so on. So this is like a very, very complex mechanism where I don't want to go too deep into it, because you also have to consider things like corruption, because if there one day money will come into the game, you need to install mechanics which are anti-corruption mechanics, and there you need people who have studied politics or something. I don't know, you know, like people who really know this topic very well. And so we are now we just have done our first baby step.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very nice and fun event. So Thomas and me, we are already working on the next thing. If things go really, really good, the next solo category for the European Champs will happen next year.
Nice.
And at the moment we are also looking for people to help us, to grow the team and to find out who are the right people to involve, because I think we are still in a very fragile state where we really need the right people with the right mindset, who don't want to empower themselves and abuse the power, but, you know, really thinking for the bigger good and try to create a platform that will last very long and really reflect as much as possible the European beatbox scene.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, man. Like, it's kind of like more like a democracy rather than dictatorship, right? Like you can vote people as the president of the Beatbox Europe.
Yeah, for example, like you could, I think, I don't know, like these are the systems I still know, but I don't know if there are already more innovative ideas or versions of democracy, because I haven't studied, but a classic one would be, people can vote every 3 years and then these people will be in charge, or whatever time frame will make sense for organizing events.
If you win Shootout, then you can vote someone out, or you become the company owner.
Yeah. Beatboxing for shares of the
Well, imagine there's
shares,
like so there's a standoff of all the future organizers and then the judges vote. Oh, okay, so everyone holding a speech. If you vote for me, there's free drinks for every artist and for every family member of the artist. When you vote for me, the every champion gets a DPA microphone, whatever it is.
Now you have to say Louis now, Louis.
Yeah. Like the thing is with that is one thing. I don't know if this is the best, because it becomes in so much politics, and I think I don't know if
I mean that was an exaggeration. Yeah.
But it's very interesting, like how to determine who is the best, and also you need to kind of make a document which says like there will never be the possibility that a person will be longer as 3 years in charge. I don't know.
And also like I guess it would help if it's like a non-profit organization, right, where the profit goes directly into a future event, or
prize monies and so
all
on.
the prize monies. So there's like, for the leadership, there's no benefit in like benefiting financially, other than like just everyone needs to have a certain income to survive, but no one gets a millionaire out of artistry, right?
And there's like one problem that I found out with having like this community. Like for me, it's easier to have the right wording in German, but I think community is the right term, because when you're a community and you are having cooperations with other companies, many times you could have troubles, because like the sponsorings many times are business to business, but you're not the other business, you're a company. So this could cause some hiccups, and I had like small little problems with that already for this event, which was like, very small things. But there are many things we need to conquer, and we need people who know business development and so on. What is the best way to do those things? And then one day we have, I don't know, Madox for president at the Beatbox Europe.
No. To be honest, like I think I also said it like in the previous podcast. Like I see myself more as like I love to do media for events.
Madox, we'll do the panel. Okay, the next panel, the next Bilo and Pepuni. We'll have the
No, but
that would
but
be
like
really cool.
Like a standoff.
That would be really cool. Like the
nerds,
the pro analysis and so on. You know?
Yeah. That sounds better. Pro analysis. I said nerds, but yeah. Nice. I wanted to ask. Madox.
No, like at the end, I think everyone who's like inside of something like this should use his own strengths. You know what I mean. Like also for me, Eric, when I was working with this beatbox at GBB, it was always clear for me like my path is like being like a director, leading like a media team, make sure it looks nice on the internet. Every artist is represented the best way possible, But I never saw myself being like a manager or being like the taking care of finances, stuff like that. Like I'm not the best in this, but yeah, that's the thing. Like I think if we have like a good combination of people who are like stronger in the creative part, stronger in the business part, and put people together like that, I totally can see that, like outside, like from the inside of the beatbox scene, we already have lots of resources that we can use for events like this.
Yeah.
So, as an example, like totally off topic, maybe not that off topic, but there was one guy also from Switzerland. I don't want to name. I don't want to call his name yet because it's not. We don't have official like agreements yet, but it looks like it's going into good direction. He wants to like set up a festival in Switzerland, like a beatbox festival.
Cool.
By the way, he has no connection to Swiss beatbox. It's just a coincidence that he's also Swiss. He had like a similar approach to Circle Jam Festival, and he reached out to me, being like the face of the event, like promoting the event and helping finding the right artist for event like this. And he sees himself more like the organizer, doing the finances, taking care of sponsors, because he's also really experienced in this. And yeah, like I hope there's more people having like the having like visions like this, right? Like coming, like I think in the scene we have a lot of people like us who are like really creative, who have a good network in the community, but maybe don't have like this many connections like in the business world, or are not like really experienced in accounting, stuff like this. But I see like the bigger the scene grows and the more people from the outside, investors, etc., are interested in the art form. I think like we can funnel these people into like trying to lead them into the right direction, right? So it doesn't end up like a big corporate event. Like I don't know, like I don't want to bash any brand, but like I would hear sometimes like Red Bull that does an event, somewhere like a dance battle, and but the dancing community didn't feel like the vibe anymore, because the whole system was created from people who were like more like with a focus on how it can represent the brand and how it could be really entertaining for the audience, but maybe some rules wouldn't fit to like what the community normally would do, and that's why I think if we have the right people being also inside who out of the community collaborating with investors, we can lead them into the right direction. Yeah, that was a long monologue. I hope. Yeah. Anyways, Bart, you wanted to say something?
No, well, I wanted to ask, obviously, about, because you have so much experience organizing, what would be your takeaways for other organizers around the world that want to start organizing stuff? Maybe you have something that you'd like to say to them.
I have, I can give some advice or some tips that I have experienced, or things what I tried to do and I failed. One thing, if you do a beatbox event, the best after party you can have for a beatbox event is a room with drinks and food and maybe an open mic. Don't book any DJs, don't book any music act, because after a beatbox battle or event, people will most likely go outside and walk to get something to eat and beatbox.
Oh yeah.
So that happens. This is like I had crazy after party acts, and always the beatboxers are gone and nobody's at the venue anymore
Yeah.
for 1 or 2 hours, and then everybody shows again up after they have eaten. So investing money in that doesn't make too much sense.
Such a cheap after party too. It's way better than booking artists. Just one
Keep
dirty
it simple.
microphone, some pizzas,
Pizza, microphone, drinks, and make sure that you can be loud for a very long time without the police showing up.
That's a good
If
one
you have
too.
those things covered,
Especially in the hotel, right?
especially in the hotel,
get the right
this
hotel
This is
that-
the biggest challenge, yeah.
Doesn't
And
complain.
also, so this would be the one thing. Of course, take care of food and drinks if it's possible for the budget for the event, and then the sound system. Try to have an overkill sound system for your venue. Like, rather have a smaller venue with a bigger sound system than the other way around, and don't do after party. That's like, just, I think the best where I had the feeling, like, I'm a very critical person, like, after the most events, I'm many times disappointed with many things I have done. And this is also one thing, because you talked about people who are more capable in organizing events. So for me personally, I think like Thomas, he is way more experienced in the topic of management and business development. He has a very, very good approach and idea how to do things. Also, Audo, I heard of him before, but he is super skilled as well. So there are people out there who can do things really, really well. And I think I'm just really good in throwing parties, and those parties are always attached to battles.
Yeah.
So that's the way things turning out. Because, and so that's the reason, if you think of Vokal.Total, it really does make sense to first have all the participants party for 4 days and then do the battle. Normally you do the battle and then you do the parties, but I couldn't wait that long, so we had to all gather before,
No, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah,
has enough
so-
sleep, just before the battle, everyone is has 4 hours of sleep and then starts to battle. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. And for me, the best, where I personally felt that this went much better than I thought, was the one time where we booked in the basement of the hotel a room. We put in there a sound system, and we made a crazy battle where I don't want to go too much into detail.
Because I think I have an idea.
Yeah. And
I think I was there.
The thing is, yeah, he was there. And the key was, there were no cameras allowed, no smartphones and no cameras.
Yeah, so there's no
allowed in
footage
that
of this at all. We put all
No
our
footage.
phones in like a basket. We didn't touch the
What did you
basket.
do there?
I cannot tell. Everything that happens
It was a crazy
in
battle.
Graz stays in Graz. And especially in that room. Yeah.
So you have to go
was
there to have
crazy.
the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, because of that, it was like traveling back into the past, where we all started, where there was a sound system, a mic, we were standing in a circle, we were having some drinks, and we were beatboxing. And even though I know the beatbox scene is growing more and more, so the topic of beatboxers being like famous, might hinder someone to act as they would act normally, because you don't want to be filmed all the time. Hey, let's take a picture. Hey, let's do this. So we really just had this very, very chilled atmosphere, and it just was about beatboxing together, nothing else. And so this is one thing, if you understand this as an organizer, that it's all about us coming together beatboxing, and you keep this core always, then every event will be a success, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nexor for president.
Yeah,
You have
beautiful.
my vote, bro.
Beautiful.
It was a good speech.
Yeah, I have something here. This is
to
my
close.
God.
the Wheel of Spit.
Close
It's probably you.
2.0. Is it the new version now?
Well, yeah, we took some things out. We added some things.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So a good president also has to have a little bit of beatboxing skills, and as your performer, I think you have plenty of it.
Yeah, but he's a beatboxer, bro. He's not like an organizer that can't
that's what I'm
beatbox.
saying.
Yeah, he
That's
just
what
did
I'm
a
saying.
tour of
He has a performer.
performance of 3 hours beatboxing. That's
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like for me it's very interesting. I don't know how you guys feel because you guys work with so many different things as well. When you beatbox and preparing for battles, I compared with running, you are preparing for 100-meter sprints.
yeah.
And if you are beatboxing for a band or a group, you're starting to become like a marathon runner.
Yeah.
So your technique and everything starts changing, and
Yeah.
other topics are becoming much more important for you as a beatboxer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
it's been
me, like to make shows, I had to learn how to do really simple stuff, but still be able to connect with the crowd while doing simple stuff, because
Yeah.
it's just impossible to do a 45-minute show solo and do battle round after battle round, right? You can have highlights in between, but that's maybe like 5 or 6 minutes of my show when I do 45. It's like on 100% of my capabilities, but the rest is like on 30 to 50%.
Yeah. I was very impressed when I asked you, Bart, once, how do you approach your songs?
Yeah.
Because I always think your songs like are so heavy that they would work in a battle. And you told me like, yeah, because at the beginning they were designed for a battle, but they're just turned out to become complete songs. And I like this because, for me, it's, to experience how many different ways people, approaching to create their routine and songs. And I think like, I don't know, I think Napalm, I feel like maybe have also a similar approach because he can beatbox 1 hour and it's just like heavy hitting stuff. And then you have others who like try to, you want to create a nice atmosphere and, tell a story and, this goes there and this is the lyrics of this sound and blah, blah, blah. But it's very interesting. So I learned a lot from you and from Madox and so many beatboxers, how interesting it can be, how to approach the way you want to make music.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Nevertheless.
Anyways, now you have to beatbox.
Let's get
the Wheel of Spit. I'm gonna press it. All right, here we go. I'll put it to the camera now.
Okay. So what is on the wheel? Like
It's
what is the
no
worst?
head movement, no hands movement, like drum and bass only, trap only. What's this? No hi-hats.
no.
What is
Oh
it?
my god.
No hi-hats.
Oh my god. I mean, if it happens, you can just correct yourself and keep going. We do 1 minute. Madox is gonna keep the time.
No hi-hats. Man, that's still better than Helium had no snares, right?
Yeah, I think we cut that one. We cut no snares, I think. So
True, we didn't include it because
we
it
cut
was,
no snares. So it's but no hi-hats is possible.
Anyways,
Oh my god.
I think we just start in 3, 2, 1.
Beatbox.
Beatbox.
Oh my god, I just did a hammer. Is this a hi-hat? I don't know.
That's time.
Nice. Nice. It's a hard
Oh
one.
my god.
That's
Bro.
it's
Like
just-
what? Like it's. I would never, when I would freestyle, I would never think of, I'm doing a hi-hat right now.
not using heights
Right?
is really nasty. That's
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
did a
I
good
know
job.
how
You,
you guys
you were
feel.
smart. You were like, is this hi-hat? No, it's shake. It's
yeah. It was like because like of course like
yeah.
all the shuffle things and like doing it without.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, but it's
Yeah, shakers next to.
Yeah, that's a nice one. It's a nice one.
Yeah.
yeah. It's really weird. Like
Yeah.
it's a fun game.
Yeah, but should
Like,
we actually? I'm
big
going to
up.
ask you because you're an organizer. Should we do this next time in the beginning of the interview, just without any pre-talk, just like straight up into the challenge, so the rest will go more smoothly? Because you're like, oh my god, this is kind of hard. You know, you get the heart raising. What do you think?
Yeah, like just get it over with, and also it's fun. Like let's make things sometimes difficult, and if things don't work out as good as you thought, it's all right because you just learn from everything. So I think just do it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
oh my
Okay. So
God.
we will
That
next
is-
time with the next guest, which is
Take off
probably
pressure.
Bilo. we'll have. We'll have.
Oh yeah.
We'll do it.
No. Next time we have Chris Solis.
Chrysalis. Oh shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
We're gonna talk.
I think Chrysalis can do everything. Like
Little
if you say, like,
spoiler.
no kick drum, no problem. No
Yeah.
vocals, no problem. No whatever. No
Yeah,
problem.
because he's in a tag team, so sometimes he doesn't.
He
do the
listens.
kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just have to fill the gaps.
Damn, I'm excited. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it directly next time. Nice.
Yeah.
That's oh my god, Chrysalis, that will be really good.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about like the current success of Beatbox House, like touring.
Sick.
They have some sick Instagram videos with insane views. So yeah, but anyways, Nexor, I think we said everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
For
Thanks.
taking the time. We really
Guys,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much for having me. Like
Yeah.
this was lovely, and I feel like we kind of had to even stop us because we could keep on going forever.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the Beatbox Bros podcast. There's always a possibility to come back. This was not the last conversation. I hope everyone enjoyed in the
Yeah, is there anywhere we
viewers.
can watch the European Championships videos when they come out?
Yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube, just type in Beatbox Europe. You should find our YouTube channel. The videos will be coming up very soon. So I'm just talking about, just about a couple of days. And so yeah,
I'm nervous
like
now.
yeah, it will be really cool. And also there I want to shout out to the end to everybody who helped making this event possible. So it wasn't just Thomas and me. There were like so many people helping, and even now in the post-production, these are like all people, like really I'm speaking about many people who are doing this for free, and I'm just very, very grateful for all the help and for believing in this project. And so I hope you guys will enjoy the outcome
Nice.
of the
I'm excited. I'm excited. Also, how the microphone sounds, the condenser microphone.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I can give a little spoiler.
Madox didn't win.
I hope our sound engineer was able to fix it, but I think at the first round, in the first 10 seconds, the mic clipped, or 15 seconds, so the beatbox wasn't as clean. But then for the rest of the competition, the level was right.
Okay.
So this was something I was like, these are just I hate so small things. And like, come on. But maybe our sound engineer was able to fix that. And I haven't heard the sound myself yet, but I'm
Let's
very
root for the best.
excited. We have great people working on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So once again, thank you so much. See you on
Thank
the
you,
next
guys.
event, I would say.
See you at the next event in July, Vokal.Total or
World Champs.
World Champs or
GBB.
Bayreuth Battle.
You're going to GBB
Or
then,
GBB.
right?
Yes, I will be a judge for the crew category.
Let's go. Nice.
Yeah. So it will be a busy year. And yeah, so we will have lots of time to hang out together. I'm very, very looking forward to that.
Yeah. Dope.
Nice.
All right. Thank you.
Guys, take care.
Take care.
Take care, bro.
Beatbox Bros.
Yeah. Dope interview. I hope you guys enjoyed. Björn, what's your takeaway from the interview?
My takeaway is that I'll never be an organizer.
So tough. Hardest
Too
job.
tough. No,
Yeah.
man. No, it's such a man. I love talking to him. I'm so excited for where the European Championships is gonna go. I'm gonna watch the battles. I'm excited for Shootout. I'm super excited for the loop station category at Shootout this year. I mean, the solo is gonna be crazy, but the new 5 people thing. I'm really looking forward to this.
Sounds exciting.
Man.
I'm like hooked right now. Like I didn't even plan to go to Shootout, but now after listening to what Ivory had to say, I already checked Airbnbs. Yeah.
Sick.
So I might go. Anyways, that's it for this podcast. Björn, take it away.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see last week's video, then click somewhere here. That was, what was it again?
It was just us talking.
Us two.
Yeah,
it was just us talking.
We were summarizing like my personal experience at European Champs, like how I messed up my rounds. We would also talk a bit about Beatland. We would watch
Beatland and the predictions. We watched the battle of Dr. Slowsweat versus Saijo, Germany versus the Netherlands. If you want to see that, click here. If you like this video, like this one. Subscribe if you haven't already, and become a Patreon if you want to support this show. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.